Woof, what is up, you guys? So I'm here with your Once Upon a Time recap for season 7. I'm sorry I did not do episode 1, but I was on fall break and I did not have access to the internet or my working computer. So I'm catching up on this season. I'm definitely getting up to date with you guys because this season just got really interesting. So where we left off in episode 1, we saw Henry grown up and we see him separated from his wife and his daughter Lucy and Jacinda, who is Cinderella. And in this new universe in Seattle and Hyperion Heights, we see him as, a struggling writer who's trying to find himself. In this new world, we have Regina, who's a bartender named Ronnie. We have Hook, who is Officer Rogers, who is a cop. And then we have Gold, who is Weaver, who's kind of a bad cop, who's kind of a rogue cop, kind of runs by his own rules. Alright, let's go into episode 2. So what everyone was wondering was, is Emma alive? We knew that episode 2 was going to be Jennifer Morris's last episode. I put parentheses on last because we don't know, because a lot of stuff went down in this episode. So we start off with how it was when Henry was, before he was leaving, he was with his mom and Hook, and Emma was, worried about him leaving. And Hook gave her the clear sense of mind by giving him a message in a bottle, basically. Basically if he never needs help, and just call their names and he can just throw it in a portal and they'll be right there. Cut to where we were in the last episode. He's looking for Cinderella and supposed to meet, and evil stepmother Lady Tremaine follows him, captures him, and takes him back to a thing where she gets her daughter Drizella to try and kill him. Nick of time, Hook and Regina come through and they save him. Henry asks where his mom is, but Hook lies and said, oh, she's taking care of stuff back home. Regina's like, how come you didn't tell Henry about what's going to happen? And Hook was like, it was Emma's choice not to tell him. He doesn't want him to feel like he needs to come back. And that's God thinking, oh no, what if she's sick? What if she's dying? So we're just going to focus on what happened in the Enchanted Realm. And then we'll go to the actual Hyperion Heights. So in the Enchanted Realm, we see Hook and trying to, I don't know why Hook wandered off. He wanders off and we see Wishworm Hook. So apparently Wishworm Hook from season 6 had gotten very old, and he traveled through the portal when Henry sent the message. So he is here to try to steal real Hook away from Emma. Actually trying to steal Emma from real Hook. I'm getting my words so confused, guys. It's been a long week. So we see him knock out real Killian and goes to Lady Tremaine and asks for him to turn him younger so she can go back to the real world and be with Emma. So we see him go back, and meanwhile Regina and Henry are talking. She's giving a recap of what's going back home, and he asks, Mom, Emma, and she avoids it, knowing that Emma doesn't want Henry to know yet. Then we see Wishworm Hook come back and gives him a fake letter from Cinderella. Henry feels like a failure. Regina sends Wishworm Hook to go and talk to him, give his pirate speech. He tries doing so, but Henry knows something's wrong because his mom's not here. All of a sudden, Emma comes out of nowhere, and she's so relieved to see him, surprised to see him grown. And Henry was like, are you okay? He's like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm just pregnant. I just want to tell you. And I was like, oh my god, baby Captain Swan is happening. And I was so happy. My goodness. So we see her all excited. And at the same time, Wishworm Hook was like, oh my goodness, I'm about to tear a father away from his child. So he goes back to find Hook, and they get into a fight, and he ends up stabbing himself. And he's like, I only wanted to steal Emma because I wanted to find my daughter. And we're like, what? Whoa, wait a minute. Hook has a daughter? It was really confusing. So we see Emma come in and he tries to heal him, and if she successfully does, then we cut to her and Henry talking, and she really wants him to come home, but she knows that he has to find his own story, and she's like, you're not allowed to come home until you find it. And she comes up with the idea of him and Wishwormhook teaming up, him to find his daughter and him to find his story. Meanwhile, Regina, she's ready to go back, but Henry's like, you know what, let's find your new chapter, your story here. So all three of them are there while Hook and Emma go back to Storybrooke to raise their little family. And y'all, when they're about to leave, Hook puts his hand on Emma's belly, and I was like, oh my god! Like, it just choked up because, it felt like Jennifer Morris's last episode. But I feel like we're gonna have her back at the end of the season. She took, like, a break, just to focus on, like, movie career-wise. But y'all, we need her back. There is some petition floating around out there wanting to bring her back to the show. And I feel that the writers, the way they left off things, fans are gonna want one more episode of Emma and have her come back for season 8, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get a season 8. Fingers crossed. So now on to Hyperion Heights. In the Hyperion Heights world, we see Jacinda, wanting to get ready for Lucy's recital. And Lady Tremaine, of all people, had to go and change into a charity thing. And it was like, oh, you need $550. Jacinda is literally trying to scrap up whatever she can with her roommate. I can't remember her name, but I'm just going to call her Tiana. And Henry tries to help because he feels bad for getting her in the situation, but Jacinda doesn't want to. Meanwhile, Henry kind of works his ways through his bartending past and gets her a job catering the recital. So, while this is all going down, Lady Tremaine tries to get Weaver to find some dirt on Henry, and he recruits his new partner, Officer Rogers. So, Officer Rogers, he's been to the place already because he'd gone to Henry that morning to ask him about his book because he's seen the hero seems familiar. That's because it's Emma. And we're just like, oh man, you're trying to remember her. Then Weaver and Rogers go and search Henry's place while he's out catering the recital. And Weaver tries to find something, but there really isn't anything there. He only sees the doll and the book. So he could put together, okay, he's had a daughter. Oh, they probably, divorced. And Hook kind of knows the backstory about him and how he lost his wife and his daughter. So they're basically, before he leaves, Hook, I keep calling him Hook, Rogers takes the keys with the swan on them, which he seems familiar. He just was drawn to it because of Emma Swan. I'm just, man, you're trying to connect the dots. I just really hope they find out who they are by the end of by the winter finale, guys. I really hope so. So we get to the recital, and Lady Tremaine gives Weaver the bracelet, try to pin it on Henry. Then, Weaver, tells Rogers to do the job, and it looks like he does. He bumps into him and make it look like, okay, I just slipped into his pocket. But at the end of the recital, when Weaver's trying to ask people, to look in their pockets, he has to wait stuff. Jacinda gets upset, and Weaver kind of like verbally attacks her. He nudges Henry in the nose, and Henry looks in his pocket and sees his keys, even though he took the bus. So he knows that Hooker kind of saved him. Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Oh, to see my friend owner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my roommate just came in, guys. Gee, say hi to the people.
What?
They can't see you.
Yeah, I'm doing something.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so Weaver kind of saw like something in Hook, which is a moral conscience that he rarely sees. And then we find out from Roger's apparent backstory that he was a cop looking for this little girl, and that he ended up getting shot, and that this woman stayed with him until the ambulance got there, which is kind of a replay of what happened in the Enchanted Realm. So I got a lot of us thinking, who is, Wishwormhook's daughter? A lot of people are saying Alice from Wonderland because of the chess piece that Wishwormhook gave to Killian. However, people are saying Rapunzel, and we know that she's coming in for like 1 or 3 episodes, I think. I'm not sure. But a lot of people are saying either Alice or Rapunzel. So I personally think it's Alice from Wonderland. Maybe. So we'll probably see how this goes. Back at the bar, Rogers went to the bar and suspects that Lady Tremaine is up to no good, and basically him, Henry, and Ronnie kind of team up to try and stop whatever she's planning. So this is probably basically the most unprompted recap I've ever done, as I've been putting this off for so long because I've been so busy and I've had a bunch of other recaps I'm doing. So thankfully I was able to do this one for episode 3 tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be doing that immediately after because it's the weekend and I'll have available time to do it and upload it and give you guys every single nitty-gritty detail. Let me know what you guys think of episode 2 or the new soft reboot for season 7. Do you want Emma to come back at the end of the season? Let me know. This is your girl. Peace out. My love. Remember to subscribe.